is a critically important issue for the tourism sector in the Midlands. The reason why I've highlighted this today is to ascertain why the Midlands has been excluded from the second biggest overseas market. It is predicted that there's 44 million people in the US that claim Irish ancestry. And in the 2012, the ad which was run in the US publication, or US Vacation Panel, published by Tourism Ireland, distributed throughout the US with a circulation of 175,000. There was no reference to the Midlands. In fact, the map that was published left the Midlands completely blank and indicated that for tourists coming to Ireland, they could tour from Dublin to Dublin along the coast 122 miles in a car would take them 10 days. And if you look to the advertisement that was placed in the same publication in 2010, there was 3 pages dedicated to the Midlands and highlighted the mixture of amenities that we have to offer, from Mullingar to Athlone to Longford to Enniskillen to Roscommon, Carrigan-Shannon, Tullamore. So it's not just an issue that's affecting my own constituency, but it's an issue that affects the full Midland region. The only ad that was run in the 2012 publication was an ad that was organised by Belvedere House and Gardens themselves. And that was an ad where it says, "Your president did it, you can too," making a play on the fact that President Obama visited the Midlands when he came to Ireland last year. And I think, you know, when you talk about the government's job creation and job strategy, and the government themselves have highlighted tourism as a central plank of that strategy. And the statistics used by Fáil Ireland for the gatherings suggest that for every 70 overseas visitors that come to Ireland, there's one job created. So what I'm asking today is, why has the government in 2012 let Tourism Ireland leave the Midlands blank in terms of advertising in the second biggest market? The Midlands has plenty to offer any tourist. If you look in my own constituency, you have Belvedere House and Gardens, which was developed by Westmeath County Council at a cost of over €10 million. Athlone Castle was recently renovated. You have the Hill of Ishnock, Kilbeggan Distillery, one of the largest whisky brewing distilleries in the world now. You have Kilbeggan Racecourse, you have the Royal Canal, the Grand Canal, the River Shannon, copious amounts of lakes. Abershrewl, just down the road from my own, where I live myself, the tidiest town in Ireland, but yet still Tourism Ireland have chosen to leave the Midlands off their advertising in the United States of America. It's extremely disappointing that the government has let this happen and has shown their neglect to the Midlands.
Minute left, Deputy.
Last night, I had the pleasure of attending the launch of Mullingar.ie. This is an initiative which came about following a number of prominent business people and community activists in Mullingar, supported by Westmeath County Council, supported by the County Enterprise Board, by Leader, by the Chamber of Commerce, and supported by Celtic Media, the group which owns one of our local papers, the Westmeath Examiner. And what's happening in this regard is they have designed this website that's there to promote the town of Mullingar, to show that all that there is to offer. You know, when you look at Niall Horan, One Direction, who comes from Mullingar, you look at Niall Breslin, international stars, and the former late great Joe Dolan. But what's happening here is a group that's doing it for themselves. They're not
over your time.
Yeah, they're not relying on the government to market them. And what I just want to finish up by asking 2 very particular questions, and that is, why in 2012 was the Midlands omitted from Tourism Ireland marketing in the United States? And can the Minister here, and I know it's not his responsibility, but I want to get a clear commitment on the floor of the House this evening that this will not be repeated in 2013. The Midlands of Ireland has plenty to offer. And I want to ensure that in 2013 that we get our equal amount of advertising by Tourism Ireland all over the world.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hero. Thank you. I'd like to thank Deputy Troy for raising this important issue. I'm taking this topic issue on behalf of my colleague, Minister Verreckler, who unfortunately cannot be in the chamber this evening. Insofar as the matter relates to advertising by Tourism Ireland, the matter raised is purely operational for the agency concerned. As Minister, I have no role in the day-to-day matters such as the content of it or design of advertising by Tourism Ireland or indeed the tourism industry. As the Deputy will be aware, Tourism Ireland is the all-island tourism marketing company established under the Good Friday Agreement by the then Board Fáil and the Northern Ireland Tourist Board, NITB. Its memorandum and articles of association govern its operation, and it is accountable to its board and at a policy level to the North-South Ministerial Council established under the Good Friday Agreement. The company has responsibility for an All-Ireland destination marketing, Tourism Brand Ireland, the delivery of the regional and the product marketing and the promotion activity on behalf of Fáil Ireland and the NITB and the Overseas Office Network. It receives funding both from my department and the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Investment in Northern Ireland. As a North-South body, Tourism Ireland operates under a business plan which is approved by the North-South Ministerial Council. The day-to-day decisions are made within the context of the business plan, and while its annual business plan is agreed by the NSMC, the plan simply gives a broad overview of strategy and targets for the year. As I said, ministers have no role in terms of deciding the details for material used in the overall promotion on the island, and no doubt the Deputy would appreciate that. Not only would it be impractical to have such a hand-on role, it would also be highly inappropriate to have an involvement in such decision-making. I do not claim to have any expertise in the business of advertising and marketing, but it is my job to protect the interests of the taxpayer by ensuring that such material is what is the most effective in driving business rather than what is reflective of local interests. With regard to the specific issue raised by the Deputy Troy, however, I am informed that the Tourism Ireland does promote the Midlands as part of an extensive global destination marketing programme in the US and other key markets overseas. In this regard, some recent activity in the US has included in April, and I would just like to emphasise to the Deputy Troy that Tourism Ireland targeted 2 million potential US visitors in key gateway cities with a promotion on the Lakelands region, which included a video on President Obama's visit to Moneygall that took place in April. Tourism Ireland also invites key US media and trade contacts to visit Ireland and the Midlands region to experience first-hand the wealth of things to see and do here for American holidaymakers. In September, representatives of top producing American travel companies visited Ireland to attend a workshop with over 100 tourism providers, and I believe there was a huge representation from the Midlands region at that event. And their itinerary while here included a visit to Clonmacnoise and Castledorrow in County Laois. And more generally, it's important to note that Tourism Ireland's current advertising campaigns in the US, Jump into Ireland and the Gathering Ireland 2013, are not geographically specific, but feature aspects of Irish tourism products, activities and attractions, while research has shown appeal to US visitors. In the long haul and large markets such as the US, it is clearly Ireland that it is to be promoted as a destination, and attempting to promote smaller regions on a standalone basis would be counterproductive. It should also be noted that the US visitors to Ireland are very region-friendly and visit several areas in which they do want to take the CIE tours. They're all very much included, including the Midlands, during their visit here, while on average lasts for approximately 9 days. In terms of future priorities, obviously our main focus will be the Gathering of Ireland 2013. This event will be the biggest ever tourism initiative ever staged in Ireland and will consist of a year-long programme of festivals, events and other gatherings in every region of the country. The aim is to bring in an additional 325,000 overseas visitors to Ireland, and the overall aim is that the Gathering 2013 is targeted at people living abroad with a connection to Ireland, whether through birth, ancestry, family, connections, friendships, business, education or personal interests, as well as those who simply are curious about Ireland. Tourism Ireland is actively promoting the Gathering in our main overseas markets, and I'm aware that the Midlands region already have a number of planned gatherings next year which will be included. With regard to the US market generally, obviously it remains of critical...
You're over your time.
Just give me 1 minute, sorry. Importance to the Irish tourism. Visitors, thank you very much, let's hear it. Visitors from this market continue to stay longer and spend more than the average overseas to Ireland. Fortunately, we have performed strongly in terms of visits from North America. Last year alone, we had over 1 million visits from North America, which is an increase of 8.1% on 2010, while figures for the first 9 months of this year show a further slight increase of 0.6% compared to the corresponding period in 2011. Tourism Ireland recently undertook a wide-ranging review of the market and has set an ambitious target of achieving a further growth of over 20% in visits from the US by the end of 2015. I have no doubt that all areas of Ireland, in conclusion, including the Midlands, will benefit from such growth, and I'm quite certain the Deputy Troy will be working with all these US visitors to the Midlands region, and that I look forward to continuing the close cooperation between the tourism agencies and all tourism stakeholders to ensure that these ambitious targets are met, and I have no doubt they will be met.
Thank you. Deputy, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. But, you know, the Minister outlines operational matters are matters for the agency itself, and I agree. That's fair enough. But now that we've highlighted a specific issue, I want the Minister to intervene and ensure that there's a level playing pitch and that everywhere in the whole of Ireland gets the equal amount of marketing. It's unfair, and everyone knows that there's parts of this country that are getting preferential treatment in terms of marketing and attracting foreign visitors to the land. I want to put it here quite clearly on the record that we have plenty to offer in the Midlands. We have plenty to offer in the Midlands between our Royal Canals, our Grand Canals, our River Shannon, the lakes, the huge amount of other amenities from the Belvedere House and Gardens. I've highlighted them all already. And what I want here today is for you, Minister, to give a commitment that you or the Minister will talk to Tourism Ireland to ensure that the Midlands, because it's quite plain, it's there, I have a copy of the advertisement, where a whole section of Ireland was left without marketing. It was just blank, as if there was nothing to do, as if the Midlands was a desert island. It was left blank. And you quoted the gathering, and there is a lot of good projects in the offing of the gathering in the Midlands, but they're all community-driven, community-led. Just like last night in Mullingar, community-driven, community-led, where they led and launched mullingar.ie to show what we have to offer in that provincial town in Westmeath. But what I want to hear today, Minister, is for you to give a commitment that you will speak to the Minister for Tourism to ensure that the Midlands region, and I'm not just talking about my own constituency, a much broader region will get its fair play in terms of advertising in 2013, because we didn't get it in 2012, and if you look back previously to the same publication in 2010, we got 3 pages. 2012, nothing, unfair, and it needs to be addressed.
It's not, I have no doubt, it's funded by state agencies. Well, you mentioned Enterprise Ireland, County Council, Leader Partnership, they're all funded by the state, so they're obviously very actively involved with Mullingar, which is a very important initiative to launch. So really there would be funded by state agencies as well, at the level of, which is very much driven by the community, and it is about private-public partnership, and that's the way tourism should be. But I have no doubt that you're talking about one piece of literature. I have no doubt that doesn't represent what was stated in the reply. That there's nobody excluding the Midlands region in any sense. You know, there was a video they were President Obama, which is actively promoting the US. The North-South body, the Island Tourism body, have a job, a remit to do. It's not appropriate for the Minister to, as he said correctly, to intervene in a region, but the whole island of Ireland, and it will be actively promoted. And you maybe cite one piece of literature that maybe that you have seen that would be, but it's not the general concept of Fáil Ireland in any sense in the promotion of the region. It's very much actively promoted. And when people come in from the US on a 9-day trip, it doesn't mean that they're going to Dublin and going down to Cork and not coming up through the Midlands. I know from my experience that people tour the country. They have a destination stop that's all over the region, so that it would be unfair to say that the people don't visit the middle of the country at Athlone and its surrounding regions. I think that would be a long stretch of the imagination, so I think that wouldn't be the case. I think you have huge attractions that are there, and people have no doubt are visiting the region, that you had huge promotion of Obama coast to coast in the US that got massive promotion and is actually being used by Fáil Ireland in the US at the moment, so that I have no doubt that it will be the case, and the gathering is an opportunity for everybody to get involved. And the Minister, as I said, he has delegated the function of Tourism Ireland to Brand Ireland as a place to come, and next year 1 million visitors came from the US alone. And this year, there's an expectation that will increase that by 325,000. So I've no doubt the role of state agencies, private sector involvement, private promotion will play its role in doing the role of promoting the region. I've no doubt all of the bodies and the tourism body in the region itself is very actively involved. So I'd be very assured that quite certain the transcript, this script will be going to the Fáil Ireland as well. But clearly there's only one piece of literature that you referred to that would feel there was an omission. But by and large, that wouldn't be the mindset of Fáil Ireland. That's only one publication that you referred to, but I've cited many other. No, I think the statement that you made that they were excluded is no intention whatever to promote that vast region of the middle of the country. That is not the case.